Folks, my first guest tonight is a tech entrepreneur who's currently running for president. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Andrew Yang. That's nice. That's nice. I love the bounding on with the youthful energy. Can I ask you a question? I saw you responding to the crowd right there, and you know how to work a crowd really well and get people excited. When did it first occur to you that you wanted to run or become president of the United States? Because it's not just the office, it's everything you have to do while you're running for president that almost nobody is prepared to do.
I would never have thought of running for president if Donald Trump had not won in 2016.
Would you like to thank him? Would you like to take a moment out and thank him for inspiring you?
I'm happy to thank him for keeping that seat warm long enough for me to come beat him in just 9-10 months.
Now, you weren't in the debate last night. No news to you, but maybe to some of the people out there. Why weren't you in the debate?
Well, we were at the right polling threshold in the country and 3 of the 4 early states. They just didn't run enough polls in those states ahead of qualification.
Because there are criteria set by the DNC, and it's fundraising. Did you meet the fundraising goal?
Oh yeah, we blew past the fundraising threshold by a country mile weeks ago.
But you didn't make all the thresholds for polling.
Yeah, so we were there in Iowa, we were there nationwide. They just hadn't run polls in the early states for a month and a half, and because of that, we just ran out of time before the deadline.
Well, does it matter if you're in the debate or not? Does it matter to the Yang Gang? Or does it sort of just inspire the Yang Gang to work harder? Or do you have to move beyond the Yang Gang to the general Uber gang of America?
The gang of America.
Yes.
Well, certainly I would have loved to have been on the stage last night. Any opportunity to address the American people is a great opportunity.
Well, there's no better opportunity than right here, right now. So let me ask you the first question that Wolf Blitzer asked last night. This is the first question Wolf asked last night. Why are you best prepared to be commander-in-chief?
I'm best prepared because I'm laser focused on the real problems of the 21st century. We have to solve those problems like climate change, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and not just focus on the problems that have been at our plate for the last number of years and decades.
Now, what is your threshold for military action? If you have an actor like Iran in the Middle East, or someone like Soleimani, who was planning, sponsoring attacks against U.S. troops in the region, what's the threshold for you to take action against Iran or an individual who is sponsoring these attacks?
Well, there are 2 things here, Stephen. Number one, 75% of Americans want nothing to do with war with Iran.
I can understand that, but what's your threshold for action?
So, my threshold for action is, number one, there has to be a clear, vital American national interest at stake or the ability to avert a humanitarian crisis. Number 2, there needs to be a clearly defined timeline where we can bring our troops back. And number 3, we need to have our friends and allies with us in the mission. If those 3 things were in place, then I would consider military action. The attack that killed General Soleimani was disproportionate to anything that came before, and we did not even consult our allies ahead of time. So I was one of the candidates who said it was a mistake and brought us closer to a war that America did not want.
The debate last night, you were the only person of color at the December debate, okay? And you lamented that at the time. You said an honor, but...
disappointment.
A disappointment, okay. Last night, every candidate was white. Who bears responsibility for that? Is it the DNC for setting the rules, or is it the voters not responding to the message of the candidates who happen to be of color?
Well, what I said at the debate before this one, fewer than 5% of Americans donate to political campaigns. You need disposable income to contribute to campaigns, and you need some form of security in order to run for office. So what happened on the stage last night reflects the inequities and realities in our economy. We should be more concerned with changing those realities on the ground. And if we did that, then the stage would look very, very different.
So, in some ways, it's a financial pressure that is causing this.
Yeah, clearly, if you have communities of color who are just making ends meet, they don't have the resources to contribute to campaigns at very high levels, and so you wind up with a stage that does not reflect the population of the country.
You know, if you did not give away $1,000 to everybody, you'd have a little more cash to run for president of the United States.
Yeah, I have a very understanding wife, Stephen.
Well, we have to take a little bit of a break. Please don't go away, because we'll be right back with more Andrew Yang. We're going to talk about CNBC's little mix-up with him. Stick around. Hey, everybody. We're back here with Andrew Yang. Mr. Yang, if I may, let me ask you this. We have a billionaire in office right now. And last night we had Mayor Bloomberg, who is an honest-to-God billionaire, and Tom Steyer, who is a billionaire. What does it mean to you that we have so many billionaires running for president right now?
Well, it's a symptom of the fact that money runs just about everything in American life today. And it's not just our politics, it's the fact that our government has been overrun by corporate interests. And unfortunately, if you have $1 billion, that's going to put you in the driver's seat to make debate stages and be able to run for president, much more so than if you're the average citizen who just has some good ideas. I think, actually, I'm in many ways the polar opposite of those billionaires, because no one had ever heard of me 12 months ago. And we've been growing and growing more consistently than any other campaign, really because Americans love our vision of a country where we actually can get the boot off of our throats and experience some economic abundance instead of scarcity.
Now, people hadn't heard of you a year ago. People hadn't heard of you a year ago. The Washington Post actually called you Random Guy, Andrew Yang, and people still have a little trouble figuring you out. For instance, CNBC enlisting all the candidates here last week. Here are you as Yang, but they put up a picture of a guy named Jeff Yang instead of you. Did they apologize to you?
They had a public apology some number of hours later, after it was called to their attention.
Yeah.
I think that's about the 12th apology I've gotten from a media network.
And who is Jeff Yang?
Jeff Yang is a venture capitalist in California who is a very handsome man.
Yeah.
And,
he's a good-looking. So are you. You're both good-looking guys. Yeah.
That's about all I know of him, honestly.
Okay. Did you talk to him? Have you talked to him at all?
You know, I haven't. I think we exchanged direct messages on Twitter.
I'm just saying, if you get the nomination, Vice President. Yang Yang. Yang.
That would be.
It's right there, man.
Well, one of the great things then, if I didn't want to attend an event and he went.
CNBC wouldn't know the difference.
They clearly wouldn't know.
Okay, here's this big news. I mean, this is damn big news. Okay, so the Yang Gang just got one man bigger. This is you thanking Dave Chappelle, and welcome to the Yang Gang. You are the best. Let's do this for our kids. That's a huge get. That's a huge get. That is one of the coolest celebrity endorsements I've ever seen. How'd this come about?
Oh, Dave's people reached out to my people. We got together for an hour plus and just really connected. He's a parent, I'm a parent. Mm-hmm. We both are really concerned about the way the country is going, and that we want to be able to do better and say to our kids, we did everything we could to actually leave a country we're proud of for them.
Well, good luck with the campaign. Good luck with the campaign. 12 months ago, you were Random Guy, Andrew Yang. Now you're famous guy, Andrew Yang. If on some crazy world you don't become president of the United States,
that would be crazy.
What? Do you have a fallback position? Reality show? You, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, all living in a house together someplace?
I'm running for president to solve the problems that are getting bigger all the time. So goal number one is get Trump out of office. So if I'm not the nominee, I'll be working with whoever the nominee is to win in the fall. And then I'll likely end up as part of the administration trying to solve some of the problems that are just getting worse.
Well, good luck to you and the Yang Gang, no matter what happens. Andrew Yang, everybody. We'll be right back with comedian